Thank you everyone for joining us this morning for the round 2 lottery presentation. And Rebecca, do you want me to move through the slides?
Yes, please, Bernard.
Okay, so just let me know when you want me to get started. You can wait for it.
Yeah, we can get started now.
Okay.
I'm sure she'll be joining us. Okay, her slide is at the end, so.
All right, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Hi, well, welcome everyone to our kindergarten assignment information session for round 2. My name is Dr. Rebecca Duda. I'm the coordinator of the Family Resource Center, and I welcome everyone today. Thank you for joining us. I know it's July and a lot of us are on vacation, so I appreciate your time. So this is about round 2 lottery, which is being held later today. So for now, could we just move on to the next screen? So today we're going to go over just a few things about the kindergarten process, the kindergarten eligibility, the school assignment process, the lottery, and then what to expect after today's session. And of course, we'll be happy to take any questions you may have. Next slide, please. So I guess the first thing is who's eligible for kindergarten. And kindergarten eligibility is determined by your child's age. So any child who is a Lowell resident who is 5 years old on or before September 1st of this year is eligible to register for our kindergarten program with the Lowell Public Schools. Now, if your child is currently enrolled in a Lowell Public Schools preschool program, you would still need to enroll your child for kindergarten. They're separate programs, and not all of our preschoolers move on to the Lowell Public Schools kindergarten. Some choose to go to the charter schools or a private school. So we ask everyone, even if they're currently in a preschool program, to please re-enroll with us, and we'll place your child. So if you're unfamiliar with the city, I'm just going to spend a few minutes speaking about how Lowell is divided into school zones. So Lowell is split into 3 zones. We don't have neighborhood schools, so you're not assigned to necessarily the school, in your neighborhood. We have a school choice program. So you are able to select a school within your zone where you live. And we've divided the city into 3 zones. If you select, so if we look at the map down here, in the pink, if you see my cursor, that is zone 1. That would be zip codes 01851 and zip code 01854. If those are your zip codes, you're eligible to select any school in zone 1. Zone 2 would be the gray half of the map, and that would be zip codes 01852 and 01850. So you're eligible to select any schools in that zone. Now, regardless of where you live, you're able to select a citywide school. Citywide schools accept children from across the city. And those schools would be the Bartlett, the Rogers, the Moody, and the Pyne, as far as our elementary schools are concerned. We do have citywide middle schools as well. One thing to note about choosing a school out of your zone, which you are able to do, is that you would be ineligible for transportation. Okay, so transportation is offered under certain guidelines by the school committee's policy, but it depends upon your zone. So if you do select a school outside your zone, you would be ineligible for transportation. Next slide, please. All right, so we're currently in the second round of the kindergarten lottery. And the kindergarten registration period for the second lottery, to be held later today, open on May 24th, and it will close on June 20th, okay? So anyone who enrolled during May 24th up to June 20th is eligible for the second round of kindergarten lotteries, okay? So what exactly is a lottery? A lottery occurs when we have more people requesting a school than we have seats available. So, for example, if you're requesting the Moody Elementary School, they have 44 seats because they have 2 kindergarten classrooms. And if we had 60 kids apply for the Moody, we would need to have a lottery to fill those seats. Okay? Some schools have 4 classrooms. For example, the Riley over on Douglas Road, they have 4 kindergarten classrooms, so they can accommodate up to 88 kindergarten students. So if I were to have 100 students request the Riley, I would need to have a lottery. Okay? And the remaining children would be placed at their second choice school, or they could go into round 3. Okay? Now for the second registration and for the first registration period, we've only had one school that met that criteria of exceeding registrations compared to their seats, and that was the Pyne Arts. That school only has 2 seats, or I should say rather 2 classrooms, so 44 seats. So in round 1, we did in fact have a lottery for the Pyne Arts, and we did not fill all the seats as per the new school assignment policy. And the same situation happened again with the Pyne Arts. We had more students eligible for the lottery than we had available seats. So we're having one lottery today, and that would be for the Pyne Arts School. Everyone else, I still have open seats. So if you requested any other school, your child will be assigned to that school. So for example, if you requested the Shaughnessy for kindergarten and you're in round 2, there's no lottery. You will be placed at the Shaughnessy Elementary School. So anyone who did apply during our round 2 period, which was May 24th to June 20th, will receive a confirmation letter through email by Thursday, July 8th. So we'll be sending out email confirmations tomorrow, and that will be followed up with an official assignment letter in the mail. Next slide, please. All right, and again, the only school which we're having a lottery is round 2 is the Pyne Arts. This slide really just shows you the different schools and which zones that they're in. Oh, I forgot the Lincoln was also a elementary citywide school. Okay. And of course, all of this information is found on our website at the Family Resource Center. We have a whole page dedicated to kindergarten registration information. And there's also information about before and after school programs as well. Next slide, please. All right. So again, this is something that I just explained, but just to review, lotteries are held for any school where we have more families requesting a school than we have available seats. And per the school assignment policy for the 2021-22 school year, this will be a weighted lottery. So there will be weights given to you for different things. And the reason we're doing this is to ensure that we are meeting the goals of the voluntary consent decree, which was approved by the courts back in the 1980s. And the purpose of the consent decree was to ensure equitable access to all of the schools for all of our children in the city. So the 21-22 lottery will be weighted and will take into consideration siblings, McKinney-Vento status, which we'll speak about a little later on, and minority, non-minority status, and proximity of the school to a family's home. So you do get points for different things. So for example, if we look at siblings, if you had a sibling in a particular school, you would get more points and pushed to the top of the lottery list if compared to someone who did not have any siblings, right? Because the goal would be to keep families together. That's not family friendly to have, 3 kids in 3 different schools. So you would get priority weight in the lottery if you had siblings. McKinney-Vento status refers to your housing situation. And Miss Balch is with us and she'll talk more about that. But if, for example, your family is in a shelter, you would get points for your economic status. And of course, the minority status as well. Okay. And just a reminder that the proximity factor is not considered for our citywide schools. Citywide schools should be drawing from the entire city. Okay. Next slide, please. All right, so per the school assignment policy in round 2, 25% of the kindergarten seats that are remaining will be filled in round 2. That is what's spelled out in our school assignment policy passed by the school committee. And after reviewing the candidates that we have who have requested the Pyne Arts, we will be filling 25% of these available seats in the second lottery to be held later today. And the 2 priority factors we'll be considering would be siblings and the McKinney-Vento status of these families. Next slide, please. All right, so this is round 2. And as I said, round 2 was May 24th to June 20th. So anyone who registered between those dates for a school not holding a lottery will receive an email notification by June 8th. Okay, and official letters will also be mailed out. Anyone who submitted an application for Pyne Arts but did not receive a placement via the lottery will be assigned their second or third priority school. However, you also have the option of the third lottery. So we do have a third lottery to be held on August 4th. So if you really want to try to get into the Pyne Arts, but remember, the odds decrease with each lottery. So in this current lottery, we're only going to be filling 3 seats because the school is almost full. All right. But we still have open seats. You can still try for the third lottery. And if not, you'll be placed in your second or your third choice schools. Okay. But those are conversations we'll have with the families. Okay. And anyone who submitted an application between June 21st and July 25th will be entered into round 3. So we continuously enroll children into the Lowell Public Schools all year round. So all through the summer, people will be applying and registering. So we'll be filling seats right up until the start of school. But anyone from June 21st to July 25th will be in round 3, should we need a lottery for any school. Next slide. Okay, so next steps, what to expect after today's information session, okay? We're gonna hold the lottery and then we'll be notifying families with an email tomorrow. They have their placements and my clerks will also be mailing out the official registration letter, which you'll be getting in the mail. Now, once you receive your letter, everything else will be done by the school. So the school will notify you of your child's kindergarten teacher of any orientation or back to school information you may need. That all comes from your child's school. Okay? Families don't need to return anything to the Family Resource Center to accept your child's placement. Okay? If you've joined us for our preschool programs, that is different than the preschool program. In preschool, we ask that you officially accept the placement and return a form to us. That none of that for kindergarten. Okay, if for some reason you choose to withdraw from the Lowell Public Schools, you would notify us of that, should you choose to go to a private school or a charter school, okay? But other than that, we fully anticipate you joining us at the end of August when school opens. Next slide, please. All right, so at this point, if I have questions from anyone, I would be happy to take any questions. Okay, were there any questions in the chat box, Vinod?
I don't see any questions in the chat or the Q&A.
Okay, all right. We can move to the next slide then. All right, and now I've mentioned McKinney-Vento a few times, and just to give an overview of what McKinney-Vento is, we have with us Mrs. Kim Balch, our McKinney-Vento liaison. I'll let her talk to you about McKinney-Vento.
Hi, I'm Kim Balch. I'm going to explain to you a little more about the McKinney-Vento Homeless Act that we have here in Lowell. Well, it's actually nationwide. So what it is families that do not have consistent homes. So if you're living with a relative because you can't afford a place right now, you've lost your home, you've been evicted, that's one of the reasons that you could qualify. If you no longer are, if you're living in a hotel or a motel, you don't have a home of your own, these are definitely reasons for you to stop in and talk with us. What you might see from me a lot is me asking you for your proof of address. And so those proof of addresses, if you can't come up with something like that, you want to give us a call so that I can work with you on the best ways that we can support you and find you some housing. We work directly with the community here in Lowell to help you get in touch with the right people so that you're going to have better housing situations. On top of that, we also work with the families to ensure the children are getting the education that they deserve, whether they're here in Lowell or you've been moved to a shelter in Lawrence. So we really want to work with you here and can make sure that your children are getting their needs met no matter where they're living. And if you need any other assistance, please reach out to me. There's email at mckinneyvento@lowell.k12.ma.us, or you can reach out and phone us. I look forward to speaking with you. And if you have any other direct questions, please, again, reach out. Thank you.
Great, thank you very much. And again, we'd be happy to take any questions. And we have multiple ways that you can reach us here at the Family Resource Center. The main number is 978-674-4321. We also have an email for the office. It's Family Resource Center at lowell.k12.ma.us. And we also have several bilingual family liaisons. If English is not your first language and you'd like language support, we have liaisons that speak Swahili, French, Khmer, Portuguese, and Spanish. So we're here to serve the families of Lowell, and any of us here would be happy to assist any of you with registering your child or answering any questions. All right, so for now, did we have any questions in the chat box or anything?
No chats left.
Okay. Well, I do thank everyone for joining us this morning, and we'll be working on sending out notifications for our round 2 families. Okay. Thank you and have a nice day.